Hello, everybody, and welcome to a CLNS Patriots Roundtable. We are talking quarterbacks today. Alex Barth alongside Mike Alongi, and we talked about the Patriots quarterback situation in terms of the draft. It must have been like a month and a half ago now, but situation has obviously changed. The Patriots have traded up in the draft. Speculations they may trade up again. So, and of course, the top of the draft has changed as well. Mike, I've been combing through the film. I've got my thoughts, but I want to go to you first. Do the Patriots need to trade up to get a legitimate quarterback prospect?
Do they need to? I don't think so. I don't think they need to. I think that there are guys that could fall down. I mean, if they remained at 23, there are some guys there who, I think Lamar Jackson will still be there at 23. So if you're looking at someone like him, then yeah, they can wait, or they can wait till maybe 31. And even if Mason Rudolph falls far enough, they could probably get Mason Rudolph at 31, or even maybe at 43, but I'm not sure he'll still be there at that point. But if you're talking about you want to go get one of these guys like Josh Rosen, who I think, so the talk around the water cooler recently has been that Josh Rosen is the guy that the Patriots could have some serious interest in at that 8 or 9 area in the draft. So if you can drop that far and they trade up to go get him. So I guess it depends on what guy you're looking at. The only guy I probably would trade up for would be Rosen because of his, his talent, his arm talent, his mental talent, all that stuff. He's a little more talented than guys like Rudolph and Jackson. So I think if you're going to trade up for anybody, it'll be Rosen if he dropped to 8, 9, 10, that area. But you got to be careful because there's guys like the Miami and Buffalo who are going to also maybe want to get in on that too. So you're going to have to trade up kind of far. You'll probably have to lose both of those first-round picks in order to do that. So it's a gamble for sure.
So I'll make a prediction right now. I think that we're going to see the record for most quarterbacks taken in the first round this year. I don't think anybody's going to be left by the time you get down to 31 because there's just so much hype around these guys, and you never know when a team's going to need a quarterback. Let's run through it real quick. We're going to go buy or sell. We'll say within the realm of reality. We're not going to go with a specific pick, but if he's there if he's there in the Patriots trade up, you just kind of have to assume that if I say Rosen, I'm not talking about 23. If I say Kyle Laulette, I'm not talking about 31. Buy or sell. I know you're selling on Rosen. I am as well. I think he's the best quarterback in this draft when it comes to upside. The fact he's not going to go number one perplexes me. His ability at the line of scrimmage is unlike anything I've seen from a quarterback coming out of college in the last 2 or 3 years. And that's really the biggest change between the college game and the NFL is being able to understand things pre-snap. And the fact he can already do that and there's not going to be much of a learning curve for him is immense, especially for a team that needs a quarterback right away. So I'm all in on Rosen. I think he kind of got the raw end of the deal with the offensive line he had to play behind last year, and that he got hurt and he threw some picks maybe he wouldn't have if he had some more protections. So I'm in on Rosen. Sam Darnold, buy or sell?
I did not like what I saw from him in his college season this past year. He threw a lot of very questionable interceptions, I'll say.
Ducks.
Yeah.
Ducks.
They were not good. So I'm not hugely sold on him. I think he has the talent, like the physical talent, to be able to be a solid quarterback in the league. I just don't trust his decision making at this point. So I'll sell him for that reason.
I'm selling on Darnold too because you take away that Rose Bowl win against Penn State, which, don't get me wrong, he was outstanding in that game.
Yeah, not a lot of big wins for him.
Right. I think his entire legacy is based on that game. When you take that game away, the tape, it's good. He's a first-round talent, but I don't know if he's in the same class as Rosen without that game. Now, that would make him a very New York Jets pick, but, look at other guys who've had their entire – and later on, I'm going to base somebody's entire draft stock off the Rose Bowl, so you can call me on that. But look at other guys who have had their entire draft stock based on big bowl games. The guy I instantly go to is Vince Young, and I know that he was an outstanding college quarterback, but I'm not sure if he has all that hype without that game against USC. So I'm pause on Sam Darnold, especially after his offseason workouts, combine, pro day were not overly impressive. Josh Allen, draftjoshallen.com. We know he looks great in shorts. We know he's got big hands. We know he's got a rocket arm, but buy or sell on Josh Allen?
I'm selling it simply because these guys are just hyping this guy up too much. Listen, I love Big Cat and PFT as much as anybody else, but this is a little crazy. This guy, he's got a cannon, but he can't even put it in the right place. And the NFL is, we've seen that the window in the NFL to throw a pass is like this big. So it's not, if you can't fit it in there, It's just not going to happen. So I got to sell him on that case. Maybe if he can, give him a couple of years, and he could be an incredible quarterback if he can, work on his footwork and get that accuracy down. But for right now, I mean, number one overall for him, I agree with you. I think it's crazy. I mean, Josh Rosen
Well,
started.
I'm just talking in general, like for the Patriots to take.
I understand, but I'm saying, this guy is projected to go,
oh, you're right. Yeah, yeah.
and stuff like that. And, Josh Rosen, you mentioned, I'm shocked he's not going number one overall. That's a guy who started every year since he was a freshman at UCLA.
Right.
So, that's just kind of the difference there. But yeah, I'm selling Josh Allen for sure.
I am too. Look, I was really high on Josh Allen going into this season. I had him as number 2 behind Rosen going into the season because he had a great junior year at Wyoming. He honestly did. It looked a lot like Carson Wentz's junior year at North Dakota State, but Wentz followed up with an outstanding senior year. Josh Allen did not. And again, like Rosen, didn't have a great offensive line in front of him, but there's just no accuracy. His footwork's awkward. He's big, but he plays like a guy who's big. He's not very coordinated. He's not very mobile. And maybe if he has the time, yes, he could learn that, but he's not going to get that time on the Browns. I don't even know with the Patriots. Let's say it was a 3-year window for Brady to retire. I don't know if that's not enough time. He may be like AJ McCarron, a second contract starter kind of guy. I don't know if Josh Allen should be a first-round pick at this point. Maybe late first round, a team like the Steelers. But to throw out and I'm going extreme with these comps. I already went Vince Young. Now I'm going to go Jamarcus Russell. He can throw the ball probably 200 yards if you really wanted to, but he can't do much besides that. And it's not a game of flies up. It's a game of football. So I am out on Josh Allen. Baker Mayfield, buy or sell to the Patriots?
I'm going to buy it, but I don't think it's going to be the pick eventually. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they're going to take him. But I buy it. I think the guy's got, obviously he's got to overcome the height issue, but I buy the swagger. I buy all that stuff. I think the guy's got enough confidence to play in this league. He impressed me at the combine. He threw the ball really well. He ran well. He did all the stuff that you're supposed to do as a quarterback prospect. So I like it simply because I think if the Patriots took him, they would hold on to him for a couple years, like, similar to the Jimmy Garoppolo deal, and they would let him learn behind Tom Brady, and they would teach him how to play NFL football. Obviously, Big 12 football is a lot different than NFL football, so that's
little bit.
So that's something you're gonna have to overcome, at some point. So, but yeah, I buy it. I think that they would. I think he'd be gone by the time the Patriots drafted. But I agree. I think the Patriots would take him as a project quarterback.
I will say, watching last year's Super Bowl, you wouldn't know there's any difference between the Big 12 and the NFL. But
yeah,
I couldn't like Mayfield more. First of all, the guy's a leader, and I know I'm contradicting myself here. Go back to the Rose Bowl. Watch him. He watch the way he interacts with his teammates during that game. It's outstanding. He's a fierce competitor. He's going to blow smoke up Brady's ass. I think we need somebody to be right there on Brady's tail. Like remember how focused Brady got after Garoppolo got drafted? We need somebody who's going to put the pressure on Tom Brady. Baker Mayfield's going to do that. Accuracy not completely there, but he has the arm strength to grow that accuracy. Mobile in the pocket, can improvise very well. He'd be a good fit for the offense I believe Josh McDaniels plans on running once Tom Brady leaves. Baker Mayfield, to me, outside of Rosen, which is a little unrealistic, is the best fit for the New England Patriots in this draft, assuming they get 2 or 3 more years from Tom Brady. Lamar Jackson, buy or sell?
I'm going to buy him for the same reason that you just mentioned. Baker Mayfield would be a good fit in that Josh McDaniels offense. I agree. I think that Lamar Jackson, if you give him some years to improve his accuracy, maybe improve his arm strength, get a little thicker in the upper body, I think you might be able to use him for that motion quarterback kind of offense that Josh McDaniels would like to run once Tom Brady's not here anymore. So I think that would be a decent pick right there. Probably could get him a little later on in the draft, hopefully in the first round. But yeah, I think that Lamar Jackson, just the athletic talent alone is worth probably taking this guy, because even if for whatever reason he could not be a quarterback, let's say 2 or 3 years down the line, and he just doesn't get it, he just can't do it, he can't play. I mean, you got a stud wide receiver on your hands potentially if he's willing to make that transition down the line. And I'm not saying right away, because I think that you should give him a shot at quarterback first and foremost, but if we're talking 2 or 3 years down the line, like a Terrell Pryor situation where he just can't figure it out, then you've got a guy who can make, a few $1 million as a wide receiver instead.
And that's why I'm going to sell on Lamar Jackson, because the Patriots need the next guy, and they need him probably in this draft. And let's say you got to wait for Brady to retire. That's 2 or 3 years. Then you got to give him 2 or 3 years to figure it out. And then all of a sudden he's 29 years old, entering his second contract. You know what you're you don't know what you're doing with the guy. Yes, compared to Mayfield, compared to anybody in the draft, he's a superior athlete, a superior mobility. I don't know if he has the head to play quarterback in the NFL. I go back to those games that Clemson got upset, the game against Pittsburgh, the games against Florida State. If his primary read's not there, and you see this with him time and time again on the film, if his primary read's not there, he panics. And he'll either throw a contested ball, which in the NFL will be intercepted more often than not, or he'll take off and run, which is great. But Robert Griffin III kind of had the same issue, and we saw how that ended with him. Jackson's going to get hit a lot, and I don't know if I want to invest that highly in a guy who is going to get knocked around early on in his career. So he also not very effective once you get inside the 20. Great deep ball quarterback, but can't throw that 5-yard slant that's so important in the Patriots offense. Look, if he's still there, maybe round 3, and they've already taken a quarterback, I'm obviously all in on it. And then there is always the chance to move him to wide receiver, but I don't think Lamar Jackson has the poise and has the football IQ to run in the Patriots offense. That being said, he probably is the best athlete in this draft, at least on the offensive side of the football. Mason Rudolph, buy or sell? Well, let's I know we're up against it, so we're going to rapid fire these. Mason Rudolph, buy or sell?
I'm going to buy it just because he was a guy who I've had my eye on back when the Patriots didn't even have 23 overall, when they were still at 31 and only 31 and 43. I thought that was a guy that they could definitely go after.
So I watched 3 games of Mason Rudolph's. I watched a game against Oklahoma, a very good team. I watched a game against Virginia Tech, a decent team. And I watched a game against Texas, a not so good team. And he's a guy that will play up to the competition. He actually struggled a bit he was good against Texas. He struggled a bit in the Virginia Tech game, but he was on against Oklahoma. He's a competitor. He will rise to the moment. His arm strength is outside of Allen, is the best in the class. He can hit that 18-yard out. He had the best quarterback rating according to Pro Football Focus on post routes, 18 yards or more down the field. That's a route the Patriots could really use with Chris Hogan. That's a route that Jordan Matthews is going to be good at if he makes the team. It's a great Rob Gronkowski route. So his route tree is a great fit for the Patriots. He does have a little bit of mobility, is extremely high football IQ. I don't want to say reminds me of Ben Roethlisberger because he's more mobile and he's a bit more nimble with the football. But I think if they're not going to get Rosen, Rudolph is the guy for me. I think we got all of the round 1 quarterbacks. I'll just throw the rest in a bunch. Mike Wright, Kyle Lauletta, the kid from Tulane, Toledo, whose name I'm blanking on.
Woodside, is that Logan Woodside?
Logan Woodside, yeah. So there's that kind of Class B quarterbacks. Quentin Flowers from UCF, if you want to really get down there. If the Patriots wait, is there anybody that you trust them taking to be the heir apparent?
I don't know. I mean, I like you, I haven't really studied up on those guys as much as I probably would like to. Lauletta impressed me a little bit at the combine. I liked what I saw from Woodside at the combine. So, maybe one of those guys. But and I know obviously there's a connection with Lauletta over at Richmond. So I would say one of those two, either Kyle Lauletta or Logan Woodside.
I'll say this about that group. I'm going to totally dodge the question here, my own question. Quentin Flowers, I don't believe plans on playing quarterback in the NFL, and he would be a classic Belichick day 3 pick as either a slot receiver or a running back. So I think Quentin Flowers, while not as a quarterback, could be a Patriots draft pick. There's nobody if they don't get a quarterback with 43, I don't want them to take a quarterback this year. With the resources they have, they don't need to try their luck with an FCS guy and see if it works. They hit on one, it was Garoppolo. I don't want to turn into the Red Sox where one thing works and then you try to replicate this fluke thing being the 2013 World Series over and over and over. If the Patriots don't take a quarterback by the 43rd pick, there's only one name New England fans need to be concerned with, and that's Drew Lock. And he's the quarterback at Missouri. He's going back for his senior year, broke all the major SEC passing records last year. Drew Lock would probably be the second quarterback in this draft after Josh Rosen. That's probably the reason he didn't come out, is he wants to be the top quarterback picked. He wants the big money. Drew Lock can play football. I don't know how the Patriots would move up to get him, but if they don't take a quarterback this year, maybe Will Grier next year, maybe DeAndre Francois, but no, it's got to be all about going up and getting Drew Lock next year, and that's not going to be easy. So that's why I really don't want to see the Patriots settle for one of these mid-grade quarterbacks this year. I want a big-name quarterback in New England after the draft.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I agree. I think that would be it would be kind of, it wouldn't make a lot of sense to go after a guy who might not be able to make it in the league after Tom Brady is done.
Right.
I agree. I think if you're going to go up and you're going to get somebody, I mean, they've traded up to get 23, unless they have their eye on some stud defensive player, which I'm not entirely sure they do at this point.
I see them trading to 9 and taking Chubb in some mock drafts, which
if you're going to trade up to 9, I would take Rosen if you can.
Right. You're not going to. They have. I'm the only person in this boat. I'm okay with their edge rushers because they'd be better. Yes, they have bigger needs. If
yeah, absolutely.
Trade up to 9, either take Minkah Fitzpatrick or take a quarterback. But
I would agree.
We'll have plenty of time to talk about this. We will be doing a live draft show. We will have full first round coverage live on the CLNS YouTube page. It'll be Mike, myself, Marve Zahn. We'll have some guests calling in as well. You can check that out during the first round of the draft. Until then, this has been brought to you by Hims. Go to forhims.com/report for a $5 trial of their hair restoration product. Check us out online, clnsmedia.com. And for complete draft coverage, follow us on Twitter @PatriotsCLNS. For Mike Alongi, I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for watching.